Thank you. Uh, we are good to go. The team is in high spirits and we're getting ready for the next game. And we all know what is at stake. And we're doing our best to ensure that we get the right result that will really take us to the next stage of the competition.
Thank you, Osinachi. Tomorrow is another big challenge. What will make the difference for Nigeria?
Thank you for having me here. Yeah, tomorrow is another good day. I think it's even more important than the first and second game we played. We already know what's at stake. We know the importance of the game, and we're gonna take it with all seriousness and even do much better than what we did in our last game.
Thank you. We're gonna now open the floor to the journalists. So we start with the gentleman at the back.
Coach, good morning, sir.
Good morning.
Nice meeting you again. Coach, I want to ask this question. It's kind of funny and strange. How much of a calculator have you been pressing in camp since knowing that we have a funny group where Malawi has 6 points, Zambia has 3 points, we have 3 points, and Egyptians also technically can also qualify. So how much have you been using your calculator in camp?
Thank you. Like you said, it sounds funny, but it's a serious matter. We have done all the various permutations of what can get us through, and we know exactly which of the permutations can take us through. We want to have our fate in our hands and not leave it for anybody to decide for us. So we are going straight for what we know will put us through, and that we are aware of.
Thank you, lady.
Coach, good morning. My name is Udoche. I work for Kiss FM Abuja. Coach, before I take this question, it's not like a criticism, but it's just a straight up question. Yes, we've Nigerians at the first game was very disappointed. We're all very disappointed. But now moving forward, um, what is what are you going to do differently when it comes to the players up front? Because we know that for some reason, when you look at the bench, we would have preferred a younger set of players on the bench. But you came up with a Francisca Odega on the team. And the last time I checked, even at the last at the last WAFCON, she didn't do too much. She didn't contribute too much. And bringing her again for this WAFCON doesn't sit well with most people. So what are you going to do differently up front, or did you just bring up a player who is just a backup singer and a backup dancer for us? That's one. Number two, um, for Osinachi Ohale, what do you tell the younger ones when it comes to the defense line? Because the last time that you played that kind of role was last at the last WAFCON. And before then, it was on maybe trying to marshal the defense. So, what do you tell them differently? Because we saw you at the first game, it wasn't good at all. The communication between you and the goalkeeper, it wasn't there. And at the end of the day, it did cost Nigeria. In total, everyone didn't do as much as they could have done. So, what would you tell them differently to do against the Egyptians that really want that maximum 3 points?
Thank you for your question, and it's a good one. The issue of criticism does not come in. But all I have to say is, there are so many ingredients that make a team succeed. So many ingredients that make a team succeed. And even on the field of play, sometimes you also need, there are things you acquire in the process of the game you play that you can also transfer to others. If we still feel Odega is not doing too well, we would not have brought her for this competition. We know the role most of them play, especially the ones we always refer to as the old ones in the team. Uh, if she was not doing well, she would not be here because there are other players of their own level that are not also here. And like I said, there are so many things that happen in a team that makes a team succeed: team bonding, team harmony, guidance, leadership, and a lot of things that you also need to take into consideration. And it's not every player that comes to a competition that plays, you will expect to play maybe all through 90 minutes. There are players that can come on and make a difference for you. There are players that are, in one way or the other, based on the way games go on, you decide who do you bring on. Young players are good in the team because you cannot. There's always transition. One group moves to the next, and then you want to keep players as long as possible in the team because the longer they stay, they gain more experience and they get better and they compete more effectively. So it's not as if sentiments are attached to it. There are no sentiments about it. Look, we are the principal beneficiaries when a team does well. So there's no reason why we will begin to do things that we know will not help us in any way. It doesn't make much sense. We try to do our best because if we win, first of all of us are happy that we have won, and you know you have made a lot of people also happy. That is something that we don't take for granted because we know what football means to our countrymen, and we know how they feel, and especially for the Super Falcons, the kind of confidence and trust that people have on the Super Falcons is not something that we take for granted. We are all aware of that, and so each time something goes wrong, we know how much pain it causes to our people at home. So we will not begin to do things that will begin to cause pain for people. Things can go wrong. It's not a deliberate thing. It could be a mistake, yes, but we are quite aware of the scenario. We are quite aware of the pains, and we will always do our best to make sure that we make our countrymen and everybody happy.
Question to the player.
Can I answer her question? Okay. Okay, to answer your question about communication in the back line and all of that. Um, to be honest, everyone knows um the back line, how good and what we've been doing over the years and all of that. So it's not like we are new to each other and all of that. There are some games or sometimes things will just happen in a way that you did not imagine or plan it, and then you get punished, and then from there you learn quickly. And we always communicate, we always talk to ourselves, not just one person. When in the field of football, in football, the communication is not left for one person. It's a team thing. So we try to make amends, we try to correct our mistakes from the first game, and then you can see it's played down very well in our last game against the Zambians, and we'll continue to build from there. Thank you.
Next question.
I present myself. My name is Abdi Najih. I work as a journalist for the Arabia, the official Morocco TV sport channel. Last match you have lost against Malawi, and now you have put yourself under pressure since you are obliged to win Egypt in order to qualify to the next round. How do you prepare this match?
It's normal. Like I said earlier, we know what we need to do to enable us advance to the next stage of the competition. When you prepare for every game, nobody prepares for a game with the intent that I want to go and lose this game. Everybody prepares for every game with the intent that you want to win. So it's not a different scenario. All we are going out for is to try and make sure that we win the game and get a result that will qualify us to the next stage of the competition.
Next question.
Coach, good morning, Coach. This is Isemwa from Nigeria. In our first game against Malawi, I asked about Christy and Deborah's playing time, and we saw you use them, and they were very effective in our second game against Zambia. Now, I want to ask about Tony Payne. We saw during our international duties, we saw how effective, how smart, and how speedy she is on her wing. And she's yet to get enough playing time in this. tournament. What have faith in our game against Egypt? And this question is not to disrespect or to question your decision, because I mean, you won the WAFCON last year, and we trust your decision. Thank you.
Thank you. Sometimes the selection of players is dependent on what you see or what you analyze of the opposition. What you analyze of the opposition sometimes determines, okay, when you come up with your own strategy, who can be able to do this? This is what we have seen of the opposition. These are their strengths, these are their weaknesses. Who are the key players in that team? What are their strengths? How do we address them? How do we handle them? You look at your own team. Okay, who can do this? When you come up with a solution, who can do this? Who will do this better? These are some of the things that come into consideration before you select or you pick players that will play in every game. And you try to give instructions. You work on them in training, at least the few days that you have. After discussing and analyzing, you still have to come to the field, do a little bit of the practical aspect of it to see how it works. And you also be looking at all the other players. Whoever does it better is the person that you say, okay, this person has done this better, this person has done this well, and so let's give the person a chance. The onus is on the player now to go in and then do what is expected of her. If she doesn't do it well, we have problem. Then we have to change. But if she does it well, she continues. All the players in the team are good enough. They all have different qualities. They all have their strengths as individuals, and they also have their weaknesses. It's not everything that even we as coaches, it's not everything that we can say we know, because nobody has monopoly of knowledge. And that is why you also have assistants, you have a backroom staff, people you are working with, so that you can always put heads together. Certain things that you did not see, somebody else might see, and you put heads and then you come up with it. So she's good to go. She has an opportunity, and hopefully she will also be part of the team, considering the fact that we even have players that will not be in the game tomorrow.
Yeah.
Hello, coach. Hello, Osinachi. My name is Washington, and I represent Chief Assistant Chief Swap Podcast, Super Sports International, and Sports Records Chief Swap. I just wanted to ask. You said there are a few players that will not be representing, will not be starting for the next game. But for me, the question is, how good is the problem you have now? The players that you have that are available, because you've always said from the last edition, you said selection is always the ethic that you get when you get to different stages. Now, considering the so-called stakes at hand, are you having a very good problem right now, and how are you approaching it? That's where I want to keep it. Then I'm going to throw this to Ohale. It's a question I asked to your Egyptian opponent as well. After your games that you didn't do well, the criticisms online was really big, and the vitriol they received was really crazy. So off camera, we're having a conversation, and I asked same question I'm asking you. You female players, do you reach out to yourselves when you have this um, blast of negativity online because of your national duty? Do you go out of your way to be like, yo sis, take it easy or something? How do you maintain your mental strength and settle yourselves even as you do competitions for your countries? Because to me, it's bigger than the competition. Your mental health and your humanity is always key, win or loss. Over to you, coach. Thank you.
Thank you. Having good players in the team is a good headache, but it's not easy for us as coaches when you have a lot of players that are good. When it comes to team selection, you have to go into a lot of details in trying to determine who does what. And like I said previously, some of the analysis that you do before you finally decide on who plays. You have to look at all that because no matter what, no matter how good they are, like I said, they have strengths, they have weaknesses. You have to assess all that and then what you see them do in training. With the current crop of players that we have, it's a good headache because we have to battle, sometimes argue, discuss, look at a lot of things before we finally decide on who comes into play. It's a good thing for our country, but it's something we are also handling, and we are looking at it. And no sentiments. We will try as much as possible to ensure that we always have the best that are ready. Somebody can be. We have players currently in the team that are just recovering from injury. They are doing. They have not gotten to their optimum yet. They have not gotten to their optimum. And we are hoping and believing that in the course of this competition, as we continue, we make progress, they will certainly pick up and be at their best because they are working hard to make sure that they get to their optimum. So we're looking at all that and we believe strongly that it will be okay with the team.
Okay, talking about criticism and how it affects us as players and female. Yeah, it's not like we are not new to it. Everyone here in the team, we are all professionals, and then we know where we are coming from, and then what's expected of us. When that happened after the first game, yeah, I'm not really personally, I'm not really that a social media kind of person. I think the best advice you can get is the one you give to yourself. You know when you're doing good and when you're not doing well, and then you try to make amendments and then make some corrections. Yeah, we talk to ourselves because we are all we have here. We're a family. When one is down, everyone try to bring that person up. We'll try to lift each other and don't let whatever is happening outside get to us because we believe in ourselves. We know what we can offer as an individual and as a team. So we try to talk to ourselves and then we make sure that we come back with a better performance and all of that. So whatever is happening outside is not really important. What's important is moving ahead and getting the results.
Yeah. All right, Coach Victor Ademola for AdemolaSports.com. Uh, you spoke about players on suspension and some injury concerns. I want to ask if you have any major injury concern for the next game, and also some players going the extra mile. The players that want to play the full 90 minutes, will that influence the team selection going into this game against Egypt? Are you going to feature your full strength, or you have new players also get game time for your starting 11?
Thank you. Uh, when you go out for a match, you always want your best legs to be, on the field of play, expecting that everybody does well and you get the result that you desire. Certainly, we have some players that will be suspended for the game, and we have capable replacements for those players and in those positions, and the players are equally ready. They are all aware, and they will be having their time tomorrow, and then we'll see how it goes. We know they will give out their best. We're ready for it.
Yeah.
My name is Cecily Amodu, Channels Television, Lagos, Nigeria. My question is a follow-up to what he just asked you, which is you've mentioned some players that haven't had their time because injuries and some other things. Does this apply to Madegit and Joy Omewa? And also, can we know maybe the capable replacement for Jennifer Chegini and Tosin Dimei, who are out because of that?
Like it's a long tournament. You are going to play. We are expecting to play 6 games. We're expecting to play 6 games, and given the timing of matches in this competition, you really must know how to manage your players very well so that you don't overwork a certain group of players and then in the end when you really need them when it matters most you cannot have their services because they have been burnt out because they have expended so much energy and all that. We have the intention of making sure that we manage our players very well so that we can sustain the performance of the team and not allow the selection of players drop the standards. For some of the players that have not had playing time, sometimes you have certain plans, but when things don't go your way, you have to look, okay, what else do we do, so that you don't rock the boat also by certain decisions that you also take. I can promise you that we keep speaking with even the ones that are not playing, just to get them ready, because anything can happen at any time, so that you don't get deflated psychologically because you are expecting to play and maybe you don't play, and then you begin to have some feeling, "Ah, maybe I will not even be given the chance to play." You must be in touch with everybody in the team to make sure that at any stage in the course of the competition that they have to come in, they are ready, not just physically, mentally, and psychologically. The players are equally ready so that you can get the best out of them. That we have been doing, and we know in the course of this competition, they will all have the opportunities to also showcase what they can also do for the team.
Thank you. Last question here.
Coach, my name is Samuel Akpan and I write for Second News Nigeria. My question is, in the last game against Zambia, which was quite understandable, we were pragmatic with our approach. We were trying as much as possible to be careful, not to lose our structure and our shape. In the game against Malawi, we saw a team that in the first half were also in transition. In the final balls, they were breakdown in the final balls. Against Egypt, what should we expect in transition? Have we seen the Super Eagles shaping up their attacking in Super Falcons in the final third? Are they shaping up that transitional deficiency we have seen? And to our great Ohale here, 5 WAFCON champions in the bag. We have a couple of players, also one who has 5, we have another who has 4. What is your motivation after winning 5? If it's me, I will just quit. But for you, what is your motivation going forward? Thank you very much.
Thank you. That's why for after every game, you have to go back, sit down, do an analysis, and then assess the performance of the team. Like you said, a lot of things went wrong, particularly in the first game, which we went back, do some corrections, and try to make sure that we avoid a repeat of it in the next game. And we all agreed that it was much better in the second game. In spite of the fact that we won, it doesn't mean we still did not make mistakes. There are areas that we still made mistakes that we still need to continue to work on. We are quite aware of that. We are looking at all those areas. It's always work in progress. You cannot say you have done everything up to the end of the tournament, because the opposition is not the same. The strategy they adopt will not be the same. So you also must be making constant changes here and there, based on the approach that you see from the opposition. And we are doing our best to make sure that all those sort of weaknesses or challenges that we notice in the games, we try to address them with the players. We sit, look at them critically with the video shows, point out some of those mistakes that we do for them to even see themselves. And then we make corrections in that area and we move on.
Um, okay. Yeah. 6 WAFCON, 5 champions, and this is my seventh one with the team, and it's still the same passion, the same love for the game, and all of that. That's what has been pushing me, and the love in the team. It has always been there. It has always remained the same. Yeah, I know most of you are expecting to hear something, but yeah, we'll keep pushing, and then we'll make sure we take the sixth one for myself, and then the 11th one for the country. Yeah.
This concludes this pre-match press conference. Thank you, coach. Thank you, Osinachi. Wish Nigeria all the best.
Thank you.
Yeah.
She's a picture with the player.
Okay. stay back. Just stay back.